Let's take a look at CompuBox numbers from a light heavyweight championship. And then he defended it against another Montreal fighter, Jean Pascal. And what happened in that fight, an all-action fight, is what first gave Pascal a light heavyweight championship belt match.
Pascal was coming up from super middleweight where he'd lost one fight to the very good Carl Frosch. People were watching this fight with a lot of anticipation. What would Pascal be at light heavy? And these two turned in a really sensational back-and-forth slugfest. One narrow.
Here, he suffered his first professional the hard-punching 28-year-old Pascal.
Hard right hand by Pascal.
Will have thousands of his home
On Bernard Hopkins, taking on Bernard Hopkins in a rematch of their disputed draw.
The young man knocked the older man down not once, but twice. But the older man showed he was far from finished with a late and powerful onslaught. Yet when the final bell rang,
majority draw.
Both men left bitterly disappointed.
A list of marginal challenge happened 2 weeks later because of 9/11. The chaos of that national trauma became a backdrop for Hopkins' assaulting, angry persona. He made his first multi-million-dollar score by collapsing the smaller Oscar De La Hoya. But fast, bigger opponents, Jermaine Taylor twice and Joe Calzaghe, seemed to expose his inevitable decline. But when he fought the Liberate fighters, Hopkins in his 40s was, and still is, formidably favored to retire him, just where Hopkins. Kelly Pavlik also fell for the washed-up, over-the-hill underdog. Hopkins credits his longevity to genetics, athleticism, and smooth.
For the 46-year-old Hopkins, a victory would make him the oldest boxer ever to win a world title.
Here, Bernard Hopkins. Executioner.
Hopkins meet again.
Defeated and knew that you lost that fight.
Yeah,
that's how gangster I am.
All right.
I guarantee.
It only get punched. It's scared. And listen, this is Bernard's defense.
And you couldn't knock me out from that? And you couldn't knock. And listen,
Come on, Bernard, man. Be real with you. Be real. Stop lying to the fans. Stop lying to the fans and be real. Be a soldier, man. Stand up and act like a real man, like a real fighter. Are you willing to take the test for the benefit of the fans? Are you willing to take the fans? Are you willing to take the test for the fans? For the fans. For the fans! You're a fucking cheater! You're a fucking cheater, man! You're a cheater! You're a cheater! You're a cheater! Think cause I'm gonna bust your ass. Don't be surprised if I kill him.
Our Max Kellerman could still stand tall. At the initial
74, 14 ounces. His career, he's a future Hall of Famer. As a
defend yourself at all times. Shake hands. Hey.
Right now, if he doesn't fight applying pressure, after 4 rounds, he's very
able to make it hold up, seemingly with the help of sympathetically refers to Pascal. The sport offers.
Well, Philadelphia, those type places where they learned Pascal
100 years ago, Emmanuel. Almost.
That's old style.
Hard right hand by Pascal. Significant landed.
And it's put together, but
The audience, the fan wants to know, did you hurt your...
I didn't hurt my right hand, a lot of looping shots, he was strong, I just try to control the pace of the fight, and just dictate what was going on.
What do you see here?
Hopkins, who's a legend,
Joel.
I wish it would be off.
Going round 2, has had a couple of...
Quickly.
I thought it was good, and don't forget, the Akadu fought one of his best fights, which we expected, with his home...
First fight with Emmanuel Stewart.
Like Emmanuel said, time,
All right, Chad, thank you very much for spending time with us. Congratulations on your...
He may have lost each by 2 punches.
De La Hoya into him. George Foreman says...
Off his feet. Right.
In the first fight, we saw how slippery the ring is, and Hopkins almost slipped in. And Pascal catches him and split body shots in. Awed by Hopkins' reputation in the first fight, and that's why he wasn't more aggressive.
He did some with his head just to...
Legs. We took when he was in the trenches there.
What do you see?
Jean Pascal, by his account, has never been knocked down, professional or amateur. Pascal had the traditional amateur career. They both went until he was released from prison in the war.
Bernard is fight.
Good body shot by Pascal. And Pascal finished him. 29 Jean Pascal. And he said, but in round 3, Bernard Hopkins went into that nice run.
Unsteady.
Why is Bernard finding success side, Emmanuel?
Well, what they scale.
Lead right hand landed. More vulnerable fights during his. Good body shot by Hopkins. Good body shot by Pascal. Hard right hand by Pascal.
But he's going on vacation.
Because Pascal forcing Bernard, I think, to be more harder and throw harder.
Making Bernard fight.
By the governing body, because of what the governing body saw as questionable fight in, partially in response to that. There are no Canadian judges here. Hurt. Big right hand by Pascal. Hopkins backs up.
Hands that Bernard got hit with that normally exchanging, as you said, Jim, he's making it much more exciting, but also much more easier to get hit and hurt than he
is a tremendous punch.
And Pascal comes out, little body shot. Good hard left hook. And it up.
On this fight,
he gets into that lull, erupts, and the hand speed can be shocking. Nobody from the United
often influenced by the crowd. Being realistic, I mean, even though they may be from neutral places, they're influenced.
Pascal attacked him with a left hook.
Trainer Nazim get involved with that young stuff. Young man's fight here.
He is.
And he's fighting it
right
well.
On the belt line. Overall land advantage.
More one.
So what the score is, he fought a very good aggressive.
You heard, keep your hands up, fight more carefully. Don't fall for a strike. Another. That's the referee who allowed Briggs into the hospital.
But I thought he took charge there in a good way, Ted Hopkins.
It only stands to reason that a British referee who has never
punch grab type fight on. Bernard is winning this round.
Pascal wasn't able to follow. And now they're talking to each other. And Pascal and a thumb to the eye. And maybe the kidney punches didn't do damage, but Emmanuel, they're still illegal, aren't they? Now Hopkins is doing push-ups in the ring to try to embarrass his young. Now, answer my question. The kidney shots are still illegal,
The kidney shots is illegal, but it wasn't that major. But I think the things that he's doing now.
Hopkins, 4'8", 56 shot. He dominates Pascal. He's got to throw that first punch. Bernard Hopkins.
It was a draw.
Oh, well, you know what happened.
Head up. Hopkins wasn't hitting him behind the head.
Hop resting this round?
Yes, but he did enough. I thought in the beginning of the last minute.
Told him not to bend over because backing him pretty good with both hands during that.
Right hand lead lands again for right hand counter punch of his, which has been his primary offensive weapon.
Fighting a fantastic.
Pascal significantly through this portion of the fight. That was Pascal won 4 of the first 5 rounds, but in the 6th.
Maybe it's because of the crowd. Maybe because Hopkins is trying to make history. Maybe it's nowadays.
I know this sounds hard. I think Bernard is considering his age. It's a different. He's fighting much more aggressive, power punches. He won.
And you want to see
Havlik.
Oh! Super right hand by Hopkins.
Reflex in his prime, light heavyweight.
Easier to hit, particularly with those right hand leads.
Season that Bernard has that Pascal still hasn't developed.
Not land solidly.
Yeah, but Bernard's jabs are working.
Another big right hand for Hopkins.
But he's going in exchanges.
It's a piece. Backed off of it.
Hopkins has been very good.
Knockdown of Pascal's career.
His foot was slipping on the wet.
If it was on the shoulder, he would.
Pretty close call. Another.
The Raptor just has a great leather toe and still goes underneath.
In terms of pure Jean Pascal. And now Pascal showed that if Hopkins bends his head over, you have to hit it.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Bernard isn't exactly painting him with right hands. But
there's a right. So, even it's been a good round at the end. Still, Pascal held it not down. But
Bernard has moved ahead on an objective scorecard.
Hopkins hit him. Jean Pascal's gloves touched. That's it. He won the round and he knocked him down. No, he didn't call it a knockdown. So let's go to 10-9. I mean, Bernard Hopkins goes into the lead.
He's good left hook.
He's actually outboxing
up. All the way the draw. Pascal lands a right hand.
That's another one.
And it really was.
Not all of those right hand leads that he's hitting well. You know, it doesn't do him any good.
You know, I'll tell you what, guys.
Poured on that more tacky.
Right hand he got caught with. He's beating Pascal all the way.
Down in Houston, Texas, George Foreman is watching. And surely the great champion will be rooting for B-Hop in the next 2 rounds.
Right hand lead through the center, got out of the way, and as a result of landing the punch, Pascal went down again. He touched the glove.
When he number 5, 1994, he's older than George was. He's trailing in the fight in some way. Situation. He doesn't have
it earlier in the fight.
Definitely.
Like going right to the inside. Bernard is punching and smothering at the same time.
The crowd back into the fight. A defender of modern times.
And even though Pascal had those flares, the extra few clean punches.
Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones. That Jones enjoyed. Bernard did it like no one else in his generation. We saw that 3 with what you can last a long, long time, particularly out that defines. Pascal has talent. Pascal has a night answer. Hard right hand by Pascal. His biggest punch since the first 2 rounds. Hopkins was hurt by the punch. Pascal has one chance. Just this chance.
Pascal is stopping.
And getting a break from the younger man to history for Hopkins. To the bell, in all likelihood, he's going to make it out.
Hurt. We are in Montreal. The first fight most people think Hopkins won. It was a draw.
But the judges are not from Canada or the USA. Round 3. After Pascal had won the first 2 rounds, Hopkins started to come on. Hit him with that big right hand. But then in round 4, Hopkins was hurt. As Pascal had the first chance to possibly press his advantage. Round 6. Hopkins. Kidney punches, thumbs in the eye, every trick. And then at the 2 rounds in a row, Pascal's glove touched the canvas after contact from Hopkins' glove. In neither camp of Hopkins after a straight right hand, touched the glove.
And new light heavyweight champion of the world from Philadelphia.
Brilliant. Absolutely. A lot of hubbub in the